Welcome, dear all, to twitch.tv/Wensleydale Cheddar. This is Stammer Stream, manga podcast and speech therapy combined. I'm your stammering host, Wensleydale Cheddar, here alongside your non-stammering hosts, Dr. Hovin and Grail9. How are you guys doing this week?
Well, I think a song lyric would describe it best. I feel fantastic, and I never feel as good as I do right now. Except maybe for that when I felt the way that I do right now.
You're gonna do the whole song?
Yeah, I butchered that song horribly, but that part is real hard to do.
Another week, another case of Danganronpa V3 down. I'm
third
3
case or fourth.
A third.
Yeah, that ending. Yeah.
I'm glad to finally have a trial where no one that I liked died.
Not gonna talk about that because spoilers. So
Yeah.
Well, okay. I've just accepted it at this point that, you know, I'm gonna get spoiled either way. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about the third game, right? We're not gonna talk about the third game.
yeah, that's for a separate podcast on finishes.
So, speaking of doing something different this week, let's start with our review of Dr. Stone. We're changing the order up a bit. So yeah, Dr. Stone, chapter 34. So we finally have
Dr. Stone.
Yeah, just to get that out of the way, we finally have a meeting between Senku and Ruri. She makes a big deal over his surname, which apparently begins with Ishi. Oh my god, could it be? Senku is Ishimaru from iShield 21. He finally decided to become more interesting, and instead of running, he pursued a career in the field of sciences.
Pretty sure he would just be maybe Ishimaru's son, so he figured like, yeah, I can do nothing interesting, so I'll sell my car so I'll have an interesting son. That way, I will at least seem interesting by, association.
Oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I could see, Senku's dad was kind of similar. Well, in any case, my working theory is for why Ruri would know his surname is that the villagers are descended from a classmate of Senku's, maybe one of those randos we've seen in the first chapter. What do you think is happening?
My theory with Yuri Off the Wall is that all the tales that they've recounted are from Senku's library, and he just had his ex libris all over them, so he is the prophet of these sacred writings.
I've just assumed that a potential classmate would bring him up as this messiah figure.
Well,
but yeah.
I guess we'll find out in a few chapters. I mean, we're finally getting into the tournament arc.
Yeah.
And does not look good for our heroes. I mean, Chrome also entered to give them a little more chance, but pairings are pretty much opposite of what they wanted.
Yeah,
like,
This could very well support the theory that somebody had. I think it was Caster had that it won't be Kinro that beats the guy. It'll actually end up have to be Chrome.
Nah, I would think it's Senku actually, because if it's Chrome, he's gonna already beat Magma in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Oh yes, I didn't actually get a proper look at the full leaderboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would say it's probably Chrome.
Well, guys, you know what? I'm betting for Ben, Brad, and Eric.
I'm guessing Ben, Brad, and Eric is the name of that last guy there who we don't know, the one against Ginro.
Yes, he's all three.
They also explain
it's basically Steven Adultman or whatever the name of those three kids in a trench coat from BoJack Horseman was.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say that they also do mention why there are only 8 participants in the whole tournament, that being Chrome and Senku's gang, Magma and his LaFu, and some random nobody.
Yeah.
Because everyone got freaked out after last year Magma and Kohaku smashed everything. So Senku just feels like better improve on chances with doping. No doping loss here. I can get away with it.
Our heroes, everybody. I freaking love this. I also love Ginro just consuming all the doping in one go.
And I also love how Chrome practices his accuracy and says, "I'm gonna aim at his dick."
and then Kohaku's just like, yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And then the panel of art when they find out that Kinro and Magma are around one opponent.
That was such a good reaction panel.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
I
play a
think-
game called Which Mangaka's art style Boichi's parodying this chapter.
No idea.
It's I don't know. I haven't read a lot of manga. It seems kind of Attack on Titan-ish to me. But I don't know.
I guess if you're thinking of the Titans themselves.
Yeah.
That's already been shown.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say my favorite part of this is probably when the LaFou guy just comes in like, "Oh my God, it's terrible! Suika fell into the water while picking medical herbs. Kohaku, you have to save her or she'll die!" And Senku is immediately, "This is 10,000,000% obviously a lie."
Yeah, but
I don't even consider that the guy might be telling the truth.
but also it's a good moment for Kohaku too, as okay, if there is a chance, then of course I'm going to go and save her, and it also gives us some more tension, as with Kohaku around, Magma is pretty much beat, so yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. But we also do get the one badass moment from Kinro, and I've really grown to like this guy.
The brothers are definitely my favorite characters.
My favorite is still Senku, but
yeah.
this guy has come on the level of Kohaku, Chrome, and Senku and Suika.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the speech at the end was very good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, how do you exactly think the tournament is going to play out?
Well, Magma's certainly gonna win first round, because if your villain loses right away, then, he's not much of a threat. Then I think Chrome's gonna beat LaFou and lose to Magma. Kohaku won't get back and will get disqualified. And Kinro will actually win his match. Then, for some reason, Genro will forfeit to Senku or something, and Senku will be up against Magma in the finals.
The thing is, I as much as I like him, I don't think Ginro will win against his opponent, even if it is just a random dude, because I think he's gonna overdose from all the natural doping he consumed.
Yeah, I was thinking that happened in his match against Senku, since they wouldn't send Senku to the finals otherwise, because, he fucking sucks at fighting.
Yeah. So basically, apart from Kinro, I basically think the same as you. So, do we have...
This does create an interesting setup, since, the one matchup they have wanted to save for the last is first, and Kohaku might be eliminated.
Mm.
And, she was their best chance.
I think she will get eliminated, because her not being there is like, it puts them on the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just thought.
Yeah.
But this was still a great chapter once again.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the last time this series had a bad or even mediocre chapter.
I think I wasn't quite as big on last week's as I have been like others, but that's just because it was again getting from point A to B.
Oh,
but
it was exactly
even
my
then,
sense of humor. So,
The
so I
comedic
loved
writing
it.
always hits so many home runs that
Yeah, and
I just have to love it.
and even just the character writing is always very good. As I mean, even this chapter we managed to find a completely new side to one of the tertiary characters, to that LeFou guy.
Mantle is his name.
Mantle, whatever.
Yeah, I just call him LeFou since you pretty much planted him that. My brain.
Yeah,
But what new side? He was always a Weasley shit.
yeah. Even so, the most we've seen of him this far was him just being a
Being the hype
sidekick
guy
to-
for Magma.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll need to.
Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Magma, lurking so down in the dumps.
Yeah, and I still do love that Senku and Crow both are just stepping on him, telling like, if you're really gonna try and take the Kingdom of Science on Wits Battle, get 10 billion years older.
Yeah, if
Science squad.
even so, if he's gonna be an opponent for Chrome, then we'll need to find something that makes him interesting, and I think this chapter built that up pretty well. So, do we have something else to mention, or shall we move on to One Piece?
I think we can move on.
Yep.
Okay then, so it's One Piece chapter 884. So this chapter has Katakuri do what I always thought could be an efficient counter to armament haki, just morphing your Logia body around the hit, and you shouldn't be affected. Except he's not a Logia, but who the hell cares?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that with Logia, since they would also need to both morph the body and be able to move it out of the way in time, which is probably pretty hard, because even if they just turn the part into the element, it's still gonna get punched.
Yeah, but if you just move it out of the way, move it around the punch, or something along those lines, it's not gonna materialize as long as it doesn't maybe touch the particles that make up the user's body. That's how I understand it.
So he's
This technique is probably only possible to him because he can see the future.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, he is very similar to Luffy in that he has, like, his devil fruit on its own isn't that remarkable. It's the ways that he's sort of utilized other techniques to use it.
Yeah, which is great. Also, this fight is very well composed, unlike... Sorry, Caster, but unlike my heroes. I mean, I love Hero Aka, but...
Yeah.
But sorry, as much as
true.
Horikoshi's style is gorgeous, but I never know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm the biggest fan of Hiroaka here, and even I'll say that his fight scenes are often not the best, because I just rarely have idea
Like, they're very dynamic and the emotion is there, but the composition is just a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're not sure, like, is this upwards, downwards? Where are they now? What just happened?
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
great two-page spread of the villain, but what happened to him? What punched him? I mean, what's going on? Yeah. Basically...
Yeah. And we also see that Pound is probably gonna fuck things up by rushing in and exposing Sanji.
Yeah, I'm thinking, is this building up a duel between Oven and Sanji? Because wasn't that a thing during the wedding?
Don't remember. There were so many characters doing things that I can't remember who exactly did what.
Yeah. Also,
I did find it very sweet when she was like, I can't believe he's fighting on his own. He just has this cheesy little line, well, there's a first time for everything, and looks like today is a lucky day. Let's just make that cake. And then, like, she gets all lovey-dovey over that. I thought that was a very sweet exchange.
Yeah, Sanji just has that, well, the same trust that every Straw Hat has on their captain.
Yeah, he believes in Luffy so much. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Also,
it is always nice to see when the Straw Hats show that trust they've always built, that these guys know that each other is the best at what they do.
Also, we finally have what's her name? Aladdin's wife, Praline coming back into the story, which is surprising. I thought they were just going to kind of leave her. It's nice that they gave her another role.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the
that's a very
Fishman
nice
parts
callback.
were pretty much teased to be in here, so I was actually, when they said that sea snails are gone, I was already thinking, well, I mean, the Fishman pirates are now against Mom, so they probably had some part in it since, you know, they're underwater. They'd have the best chance to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, a very nice way to reintroduce her into the story. Also, I've got to mention I love the call between Pudding and Brulee, because not only do we have an actually pleasant relationship between sisters, but oh look, the Charlotte sibling and the new Straw Hat member are working with each other. One of them is Pudding and the other is Brulee. You determine which is which.
Yeah, not commenting on that.
Yeah, but because they, well, Jinbei kept calling Brulee one of them, so yeah. As one
Also,
of their team.
only now notice that Jinbei apparently didn't even know that the Fishman pirates were gonna help them.
Yeah,
These guys are just loyal.
yeah. Yeah, Aladdin is a pretty good commander, it seems. Okay.
Pep really does love him more than she loves Mom.
So, also, I don't think we've ever mentioned the Idio arc on the cover pages.
Well, that's because there's not really much to mention. It's really boring.
I just got to mention, is Idio a long arm?
Yes, we saw that in
Yes.
the Rosa arc.
Okay, but I must have missed that detail, but because, okay, he must be a very special type of long arm because his kind of shoulders are not in the usual place that's a long arm
Those
would be.
aren't actually his shoulders. There's his arms going up and then coming down because, you know, long arms have 3 joints instead of 2. I mean, instead of 1. No, wait, 2 joints instead of 1. Yeah, 3 sections.
Okay.
So he has a really, really long middle bit of arm.
Okay, so wait, so wait,
Yeah, the
how
middle
do
section
his
is a
arms?
lot longer.
So how do his arms walk? Do he has
Well,
the
first
two
from
regular
the shoulder,
joints?
it goes up in that weird shoulder thing. Then it comes down on the first joint, and then moves back to what it looks like normal human hands on the second joint.
Oh, okay. So that's weird. That's not like a regular long arm thing, or can they just relocate the arms on separate joints?
I don't know, but at that time they did keep it a secret. I guess he just enjoys having the advantage. Like no one expects him to punch that far or that hard. So
Okay.
Yeah. Also, sort of tangential, but whenabouts did Jinbei's cover story happen again? Was it like I think it was during Dressrosa, wasn't it?
might have been that or Punk Hazard.
Yeah, Punk Hazard, something along those lines. I think that's where it started.
Might have been pretty soon after they separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, characters usually come back just kind of the arc after they depart from the story, roughly, or at least.
So, good chapter.
Yeah.
Not much special to say. I mean, it was another solid one with no real surprises.
Shall we move on to Black Clover?
Yes! Shall we move on to Black Clover?
Okay,
cool,
go
yeah.
on,
So,
Rail.
before we start, I would like to read an ode to a certain character who I feel deserves it. An ode to Yuno. You are rival. You are nothing but a rival. Is that all there is to you? They claim you work hard, yet we never see a second of this. You merely take powers you feel were promised to you as a rival. Asta claims you are his greatest motivation, but I see you as more. You are a murderer. You slay any potentially interesting development around you. You suck the potential of characters to yourself until it is nothing. And what do you bring in return? An overpowered emotionless dish rag. I'd ask one to name a character traits of yours unrelated to Asta, but you have none. You take, you never give. You selfish beast. So I hope you all join me in my wish that this dish rag of a character will be dropped into a pool of acid. As his skin melts, we may begin salting the carcass to ensure he suffers for his crime, so we never see one such as him again. So I tell you, bland prince, good night, sleep tight, don't leave a single entrance unlocked. I hate this fucker!
That was beautiful.
What did he do this time?
That was beautiful, although, isn't an ode a poem that praises or glorifies something? Boy, that was a roundabout way to praise you, no, Grail.
I am going to kill you with him! Well, this time Yuno just unlocks another power, which makes him on par with a captain. So there. The Wizard Kim says that this is the effort of his seemingly this is the power of his seemingly boundless effort and incredibly sharp sense. Yeah, effort we've never seen him do. Tell me, do you remember a single time you've seen Yuno train, aside that hot spring where he didn't really seem to train because he just blazed through it?
No, I mean, I wouldn't really expect to. I wouldn't really expect to, since he is in another guild. But yeah, you're right. For something that's for being a deuteragonist of sorts, him just claiming that power without us ever actually seeing any of the training that resulted in this is kind of shitty.
And you know what the worst thing is?
Go
Do
on.
you remember that he had a team? There was Noel, and that mushroom guy whose name I don't remember, but who I kind of liked for what he did in their match against Noel's brother. Was it solid?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I kind of like those two. And what do they get to do in this match against a captain? Nothing!
Zilch.
Abso-fucking-lutely nothing, because we needed to give all that time to fucking Yuno. I love this character more than I think I ever have in manga.
Wow. Okay. That's something. I don't...
Meanwhile, in Hovin's new segment, in Hovin's new segment that I like to call "Meanwhile" in the anime, I've just I've jumped on the dub and they actually made Asta slightly more bearable. So well done, Funimation. And I think it's funny that this chapter was very very Yuno-centric because they just got to him and Asta's backstory in the manga and how it's literally like it tells you nothing different about them, like, you know, having them having different goals or coming from different places. It just shows them as rivals. And that's it.
I'm gonna ask all of you, like, can you think of any character trait Yuno has that is not related to Asta?
Stoic.
Is that really a character trait when it's just blank expression on at all times?
Well, I mean, as long as it's is used for humorous purposes, then yeah, fine. And to be fair, it rarely is. It's not like he's kind of Craig from South Park, because we don't really get that contrast apart from that one Mirio Leona chapter that had a grab him and him saying, I'm not supposed to be that kind of character that gets in these situations.
And a little bit when they were up with Wizard King and he just said, I blame you, Asta. for getting us executed.
So I basically get what kind of character
Yeah,
he's
he
supposed
would
to be
maybe
in
work
theory.
if he was a side character used for comedic effect, but
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the main rival. Yet the most we get out of him is overpowered and occasional slightly funny bit.
Yeah, I don't think Yuno is a character that is used well, but I realize that he could be, and that he could be utilized better, but I don't think this chapter showed that well. I don't hate Yuno as much, but this is just a meh chapter to me.
Only way to make this worse would have been if he beat the captain without the captain just kind of self-destructing their crystal.
Wait, so I must have skimmed over this. Did Yuno win or not?
He won because that captain used so much power that I guess the backlash of it broke the crystal which he was standing right in front of, so...
Okay, that makes this a little better. I didn't give the chapter the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
You shouldn't, because he was still able to match Captain 1-for-1.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean...
It's like the time
Silver...
just now when Deku was able to use All Might's power at 100%, except it's not even a big deal and he does it on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a good comparison. I mean, the silver lining is that we don't tend to see Yuno as much, only maybe in between arcs. So as long as we keep focusing on...
I fucking hate him more.
Yeah, so as long as we keep focusing on Black Balls, then I'm gonna enjoy this manga more. Yeah,
I mean, Ask's not that great, but at least he gives us something to talk about.
So
might sometime finally do that comparison between Asta and Deku on where one succeeds and one fails. But now let's just hope I can find Senku and we can team up and make some hydrochloric acid for this fucker.
So, not a very good chapter. I'm looking forward to when we next see Finral though. Just to give closure on his arc. So, anything else to mention, or shall we move on to Food Wars?
No, I think I finally got it all out.
All right, I'll start off with Food Wars and to say that I feckin' loved this chapter. I thought it was really solid, and I wasn't particularly fond of last week's, or even like the last Shokugeki as a whole, aside from Aldini's little psychotic aside. No, this was I really like the idea of the using the apples and dyeing them in rose water to make them look like rose petals, so you have like rose cupcakes. That's a very creative way to use it, and I know, rose water is used in a lot of desserts, and it's cool. It kind of hits home as it's very based around the aesthetic of the food as well as the taste. And I love the bit at the end with Tadakaro basically walking right out of a Rocky movie to gear up her big food metaphor, which is sure to be fun.
Yeah, though I did kind of find it odd because when she imagined Shinami as a coach, wasn't that for ping pong and now it's MMA?
I don't care, it's cool.
You know what? I kind of assumed that you would like this chapter, Milo, because Momo is a legal lolly, so she must be your favorite character.
Well, she's probably not legal considering they're all still in high school.
She's in the last year, so isn't she? Wait, so isn't she 18?
Was she a third year?
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially legal, but I'd not start posting any pictures yet.
I wasn't planning to. I'm sure my friends will.
So, yeah.
But yeah, the
anime is just because meanwhile in the anime we just gotten to the Elite 10 stuff. Azami has just showed up to ruin the series. So, yeah, I could finally vent my salts to my anime watching friends.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that her dish is really creative, and the effect they create with it, the fantasy, really works too.
Yeah.
I really love that panel where she's basically like the Little Red Riding Hood with an apple basket.
And turns one of the judges into Tinkerbell.
She has the Red Riding Hood fairy godmother. Kind of looks like Going Mary's Klabauter Man, don't you think?
Maybe a little, and doesn't really turn into Tinkerbell, but rather, what's the English name for that tail with the glass shoe? Cinderella, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you even see the dirty washing maid.
What do you call that? What do you call it? Out of curiosity.
Kopciuszek.
Tuhkimo.
Oh right, that's very different.
Wow. We all have very different
Well,
names.
Cinder is kind of like an ember, and Tuhkimo comes, I presume, related to the term Tuhka, which means ash. So, a little bit of a connection.
And Kopcic means to smoke, so I don't know.
Well, I'm not expert, so
in any
I'm gonna
case,
leave it.
I thought this was a funny chapter. Welcome to Momo's world won me over to this. I like the humor. As you've said, the dish is more creative than the previous match at least. And Megami sports manga analogies are still glorious. So.
Also, who loves the Bishon and Shinomiya?
It's the lips that work. It's great.
And eyes.
Yeah.
Just those two changes, and suddenly this is a shoujo character.
Oh, so speaking of eyes, shall we move on to the Promised Neverland?
Yeah, I love Legend of Zelda. is my.
I was never really a fan of that boss. I mean, shooting the eye is pretty obvious, and once you figure that out, which you will, because the fairy aims right at it, you really aren't gonna get even hit anymore.
Yeah, it's
seriously, those is literally a Zelda boss. Like, hit the big glowing eye.
Yeah, it's also the Trine soldiers from World Trigger. I mean, and yeah, although I guess it kind of works, but because they have many eyes and only one of them is a weak point. In any case, this was a chapter that piqued my interest. If the next few chapters are going to be Ray and Emma learning how to manage in dangerous situations with very few resources, then I'm all for that. I thought that this was a really good build-up. How about you?
Yeah, it was pretty okay. I like the last few chapters with the more psychological bent to them more, but it was pretty good still. And the ending showing like, yeah, they've got out, but they've already wasted a good amount of their resources when they're only in the first day of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I just think I think the next few chapters should just be a montage with Billy Bob just like his speech bubbles just say the lyrics to "Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan as they're like trying to survive in the forest.
Wouldn't that be make a corpse out of you on that guy?
Yeah,
He doesn't want them.
Could I?
Well, I mean, he just wants to scare them off. Billy Bob did nothing wrong.
Maybe I should write that for next week.
Yeah, Milo. Now you should have a musical number for the Promised Neverland recap.
Yes.
How do we combine Mulan with Les Mis? Also, now Emma's is becoming Usopp since she's practically got his arsenal now, guys. Guys, I really need Usopp back into my life. I think I'm having withdrawal. I see every character as Usopp.
Don't worry. He won't be the next arc either, because that'll probably be the Reverie.
I need Usopp to become a king of the country.
Reread Water 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still need to finish rereading Alabaster.
Yeah, I actually recently reread Arlong Park, which was, well, Usopp's first big moment.
Oh, yeah. Well, apart from the Syrup Village arc. really. So, but yeah.
I
love that
hope you're
moment.
proud of
So
me.
I would say first big moment in the way that he actually accomplished something big without aid. Like, he proved that he's a Straw Hat.
Yeah, and this is the moment that he kind of stops treating everything like a child's play and kind of starts thinking that he has to be responsible for being a crew member. Wait, when did this turn into a review of the Arlong Park arc?
Well, anything else to say about Promised Neverland?
My Usopp friend, Usopp hating friend, about like things that Usopp has done that are worthwhile.
Aw.
You want the list in alphabetical order?
I went in order of arcs, and then at the end he was like, "Actually, yeah, you're kind of right. I just don't like the way it's played up as a comedic quirk."
So let's move on to We Never Learn. And Grail, we can finally read this. The scans have caught up.
Yay!
Yeah, I
Just
also
in time
found
to find
that.
out what Legal Lolly's hair color is. It's indigo, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, it's
Again, I always assume that every girl with not inked in hair has like blonde hair, except for Kohaku, who actually did have blonde hair, who I assumed had pink hair.
But aren't they all illegal still?
All of them who aren't Legal Lolly and the teacher, yeah.
Oh yeah, the one legal lolly. Yeah, I just kind of assumed since so many of the girls are kind of lolly-like. So I have to ask, Murayashi, how can you not peel a potato? Like, I could do that when I was 10 years old, even younger.
yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't used to be able to do it with a knife, but I always had a potato peeler at least.
Yeah, me too. Like, why would you use a knife for that? It's really suboptimal as a tool.
Yeah. Anyway, this chapter it's not this is probably one of the least happened in this chapter out of a lot of recent ones. It's just kind of him going through the festival and bumping into different girls throughout the whole thing, and having a little escapade with them.
Oh,
And-
then they haven't caught up since I only have chapter 37.
Well,
Oh right, that we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot if it was you or another podcast, so...
yeah, well, it's out now, and so Yui
Can you
meets
link-
every single girl and helps everyone, and then runs away. And then someone is stalking him at the end of the chapter. I'm gonna guess that this will be Sekijo, since otherwise she's not in the chapter.
It could actually. That is. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I think either Sekijo or an entirely new girl.
So can you link me?
Sure.
Wensleydale, you go ahead. I only read and jump.
Yeah, I'll read that as soon as it becomes available for me.
Here you go. Yeah, same here.
The scene where Ogata tries to eat the apricot candy and just does it with her mouth is both slightly worrying and really adorable.
Yeah, I saw you link that on Twitter, and I was too much reminded of that one GIF that everyone posts from Monster Musume.
Oh no! The one with the harpy girl, right?
Yeah.
At least it's not phallically shaped.
Yeah.
I've
got to.
Yeah, I'll leave you to your innocence.
Or-
Relatively.
Okay. I've got to say, the past few chapters, I've got to mention, have been hilarious to me because of one reason. The mangaka seems to be constantly shitting on the sister character, the one with the brother complex. So 2 chapters that made it look like the story was gonna resolve around her, only to be completely ignored. It's great.
Yeah, no, like they had that one chapter it was last week's that just started with her.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh god, we're not gonna get a sister chapter, are we?
And
yeah,
it
she
turns
was
out
just-
no.
Yeah, well, just the ending punchline. And kind of the setup.
Yeah, so kind of. Oh, okay. My sister's got a birthday, so okay. Of course, I'm gonna go to Furuhashi. Yeah. So Anything else to mention? Did you catch up, Grail, or show?
No, I'm still reading it.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna be disappointed if it turns out to be a new character since
I think it's a bit early to introduce a new girl again. Like we're already up to 5, and we're only like we're under 40 chapters in.
yeah.
I'm guessing Nisekoi took a little more time to introduce each girl.
But you know this mangaka doesn't have that much of a restraint since, you know, fourth chapter. Oh look, Takamoto.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, yeah, and they did also start with 2 in Nisekoi, but they also maybe did a little more to get the setting established, since it was a bit more complex.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to ask, like, how does Ogata run that stand? Isn't his father supposed to have a restraining order a bit further? They seem awfully close with that. You can't come within 5 meters of me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
She probably just like slapped a piece of paper in his face that she just typed on herself. Just like, this is a restraining order, and it's not actually legally binding.
I'm actually not gonna be surprised if next chapter we'll see him in jail. I mean, yeah, I would kind of assume that Ogata, yeah, she's legally educated enough to know how to do it properly. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say, Grail, as you read, or shall we?
Yeah, I'll just say that the panel right after the candy incident is freaking adorable.
I know, right? Just like she's just kind of nomming away, and it's all sort of chibi.
Yeah. Okay. I just got reminded of Yuiga's siblings constantly shitting all over. That
reminds me. This reminds me. Me and Nova still have to have that Moe debate. It was like we brought it up like months ago now, and
what
yeah.
Moe debate?
Oh, because I was talking about the Moe gland, and he was like, "I don't want to get into it now, but I really hate it." And I'm like, "Okay, let's have this debate." He's like, "Another time." So, yeah.
You're gonna drag him into this, aren't you?
I know. I genuinely want. Anyway, shall we get into the next series?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to go over, but I'd still like to mention Golem Hearts.
Okay.
This chapter was a lot better than the first one, I think.
I think that this one was a lot of second verse, same as the first. Didn't really advance too much, and kind of had the same notes as the first one. I mean, the beginning was pretty good in establishing it, but it feels like the climax just happened a lot like the latter. But I do hope that don't let the old man die, because he adds so much to this series.
You know he's gonna die.
Also, it's apart from anything else, it's quite an underwhelming way to take him out. Like, maybe it's just because I'm so used to manga having incredibly dramatic deaths, but just shove him off into the wreckage of his house and the impact just kind of wipes him out and kills him. There's a bit of a...
Him still smiling to his, basically, son in the usual goofy way and saying that he'd become the #1 scholar in the world.
I'm just reading through it. I quite like the art style. Is it?
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, it's kind of got its. It's kind of a lot fairy tale like, or maybe just similar to maybe early Mashima, in a lot of ways, but also has its own distinctive style. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to say for a moment that I read the one shot to this when it came out because it just caught my eye and figured, I'll check one shot. I'll check it out. But it really seemed generic. Real generic shonen anime with only the golem thing to really give it any flavor. But now that the main character was basically Natsu, but in this one, it's a lot more endearing since the main character's, stupidity and kind of lack of understanding can be explained that he's basically a child, and he comes off more earnest. And the old man inventor guy adds a lot more to the comedic duo and brings a lot of heart to this series.
I think I still found it a bit cookie cutter. I hadn't read the one shot. Maybe it is an improvement over that, but
Yeah, maybe it's for me that I just think that the one shot was kind of a low point, so I think this is just improving and therefore better.
Okay, so he is so he is actually dead.
Well, they don't state that yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I just hope he isn't. Though they
I
do tease a new character, like that woman we've seen earlier in the title page of first chapter.
Huh. Okay then. So, shall we move on to Full Drive?
yeah. So this chapter it wraps up. It follows up and shows the match between Dan and the rival kid, and I'm already seeing a lot of my big problems with this. So it's been pointed out, Dan's a very bland main character. There's not much to him. The other problems are, I don't really care much about ping pong, and this manga doesn't do a lot to make me care. Like, I could not engage with the actual action of the sport itself much, even though it was well drawn. They try and give the rival the a comedic quirk of like, oh, I'm trying to be cool, but he's actually not cool. But the problem is, it's not shown in a it doesn't have the personality to really pull it off. The art style is so sort of stale, and it's kind of a problem I have with a lot of World Trigger as well. Like, it introduces comedic quirks, but the art style feels so stagnant and sort of boring that it doesn't really fit.
I find it pretty effective for it, but I've got the same problem with Robot Laserbeam.
Yeah. And also, even though it's implied, oh, the guy held back a bit and didn't show his full arsenal, it is still a thing of, this main character has already taken out the strongest guy in the school in a match. He's already beaten him. Where do you go from? I guess other schools. Okay, I guess it makes sense. I think I'd have preferred it if it was more of a stalemate, but I guess they're just going for the early gratification of, oh, look at how cool our main character is. But just to end a jumpstart off on that note doesn't really motivate me to read more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Also, well, before we sign off, I just want to go back to Golem Hearts for one bit that I almost forgot. This death is just so sad, with Noah just thinking that he'll use resurrection art on the old man to fix him up. And just that denial reader, he thinks he can make it all better, but yeah, Golem art not gonna work on a human. Kind of heart-wrenching now that I read it.
Yeah. I think before we wrap up, I'll just ask, did anyone follow any of the monthlies? So that's the new Rurouni Kenshin, Blue Exorcist, or Seraph of the End.
No, Paul.
No, none of those.
None of them.
Seraph of the End went monthly?
Oh, it's always been monthly.
Oh, didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't really care about it, so...
Seraph is the only one I followed. I caught up with the anime, and like they did a weird thing where the anime actually went like one chapter's worth ahead of the manga, like which is interesting. So I figured, why not keep up with it and jump, because it's just kind of, it exists, it's there. I don't think it's quite as awful as some people make it out to be. Like, I think it's serviceable shonen stuff, but it never really leaves an impact.
I haven't seen it. So, just to briefly mention on Robot Laserbeam, I'm glad that Robo is wearing his glasses again, since I can tell him apart from the other characters. But he's still overpowered for the 32nd chapter. He's now pressuring the professional player that he's playing against.
Yeah.
Tomoya has a character, but he has no role of agency apart from being a sidekick to Robo. So I don't really see what his point is.
Yeah, I stopped reading Robo X Laserbeam because Robo just became such an overpowered character. Like, I saw your snake shot. I instantly copied it.
Even so, did you perhaps catch up with our recap of the 30th chapter?
You mean the time skip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah.
That was a funny thing to check in on as someone who had no idea what was going on in the series.
So now I'm kind of planning to document it as it's. I'm sure. I hope it's going to end soon. So this one guy, I'm not even sure is participating in the game, or whether he's just, I don't know, an assistant to the idle professional player. He's just narrating how amazing Robo is while putting his opponent down for being a show off. So, gee, haven't I seen this stereotype done much, much better in iShield 21? So yeah, overall not...
You know, this series... Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, overall not a very good chapter.
Yeah, you know, this series could redeem itself if it finally be where Roboto is just converted in cyborg and shoots laser beams from his eyes to win the golf games. Like, he's about to go to the woods, he just laser beams the woods off, so now he's just on rough.
Oh wow, this will become a very different series. But yeah.
Can you just imagine, like, a cyborg golf manga with them all using their different cyborg enhancements to cheat?
This could be kind of fun. The tension would be how to basically prevent the very nearsighted judge from seeing that they are cheating. And every single time they're going to go, oh, look, what pretty birds. Okay.
Yeah, and just like one guy has like super legs, so once he takes a swing, he jumps after it to smash it into the hole mid-flight.
Yeah. Okay.
And one guy's got, I don't know, like super calculation arms so that he always hits exactly where he wants to.
Yeah.
And what other superpowers for golf could we come up with?
Adjusting, turning materials into other material, transmutation, turning materials into other materials. So
when their opponent lands on green, he just makes it into a sand trap.
Yeah, or you could just
a lake. So now you're off course. Suck it.
Yeah, or you could just adjust your club. Okay, so now for the swing, it's gonna be an iron, and now it turns into a putt. Okay.
Or maybe one that makes the ball invisible with reflections or something, so no one knows where it is, so he can freely move it to the hole. Just claim it went there.
and then the judge doesn't see that the ball is in the hole at all, and he just says, okay, so you basically swung your club in the air. So where is your ball? Oh shit! I didn't think this through.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the way to make it visible again.
Oh god. Yeah. So that's our recap of Robot Laserbeam, and that is
would be a lot more interesting if it had robots with laser beams and cheating.
Yeah. So that is going to do it for this week of Stammer Stream. Thank you all for watching, either on my YouTube channel or live at twitch.tv/Wensleydale Cheddar. We usually try to record on Saturdays at 10 AM Eastern Standard Time, 3 PM GMT and 4 PM GMT+1. Although every few weeks we may move to Monday to let Grail in on the action. You can follow me on Twitter at Cheddar for updates on the stream, on Penganta, World Triggered, Friendly Faces Everywhere, Iffy Reviews, and many, many other projects. Follow Milo at Hovin with an H for anime waifus, Cabal Hijinks, Cabal Cars, which is definitely coming, guys. Oh shit! I forgot to tweet out that we were live. Actually, could you guys remind me next time so I don't forget?
All right, that way we'll get the viewer online.
Yeah, the one single viewer. Although my friend from the old South Park forum I used to be a part of recently began watching us, so that's fun.
Oh, so we doubled our viewership.
Yay! In any case, there's also Trial Bite Guilty Crown, a podcast Milo does with Castor. You can find it on YouTube in the description below. Follow Grail at Nuclear Android for gaming tweets and world conquests, and him getting his new job. Follow Dr. Nova at Jonah Left Snow for the Danganronpa podcast, which you can now see on the Team ODAR main channel, also on YouTube. Follow Barnaby at Caster UK for his entry in NaNoWriMo. And then once November passes, just unfollow him. Just unfollow him, because you'll never hear from him again. Ever. And just don't visit our One Piece RP forum. Just don't. No. So,
also, feel free, if anyone's a fan of Danganronpa V3, please do check out my YouTube for my new XD Keck game meme vid called Make Some Man Go. It's high quality content, I'm sure.
Yeah, I watched that, and I'm ashamed of you.
You know, I'm not.
Well, the Danganronpa Reddit liked it.
You know, I admire you because you already have more views with that than we have with Stammer Stream, all the collective podcasts. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it exploded. So, alright then. Once again, cheers for watching, and we will see you next week. Take care.